KIMT News 3, coverage you can count on. This is KIMT News 3 at 6.
A $60 million project is the focus at tonight's City Council meeting in Albert Lea. I'm KIMT News 3's Alec Lasham, live with a closer look at the proposed wastewater treatment facility.
And we certainly saw some cool conditions for today, but I'm tracking some milder weather as we go into our Tuesday, and also a little bit more sunshine as well. A full check of your forecast is coming up.
Well, today may be Valentine's Day. We have a reminder that love should never hurt. The likelihood that a teen you know will experience dating violence in their life. Thanks for joining us for KIMT News 3 at 6. I'm Katie Lang. First tonight, we want to get a quick check of the weather. This is a live look over downtown Rochester tonight. All in all, a mild Monday following a little bit of snow Sunday evening. KIMT Storm Team 3 Chief Meteorologist Aaron White joining us now. Aaron, just what are you tracking for the work week?
Yeah, Katie, good news. We're tracking some decent temperatures as we go through at least the early part of the week. We got a return to some mild weather going into tomorrow. And overall, not looking at a big chance of snow in the forecast. There may be a little bit of snow activity as we get into Wednesday, but most of that looking to miss us to the south. And we are tracking just some nicer temperatures going into tomorrow. Some snow melting weather in the forecast. But if you're heading out this evening for a little Valentine's dinner, we are looking at temperatures kind of on the cool side, down to 11 degrees, north wind at 6 miles per hour in downtown Rochester. Live look over Mason City. We had a beautiful sunset here just about 15 minutes ago, 14 degrees now, north wind at 5 miles per hour. Temperature still on the chilly side, but as we look to the west, we got warmer air not too far away, and that arrives as we go into tomorrow. I'll let you know how warm we're going to get coming up in your full forecast.
All right. Thanks, Aaron. New at 6, a $60.2 million plan to upgrade Albert Lea's wastewater treatment plant is a hot ticket item on tonight's City Council agenda. KIMT News 3's Alec Lasham joining us live ahead of the meeting, in which community members will be able to have their voices heard during a public comment period tonight. Alec, when does the meeting kick off?
Well, Katie, that meeting will be underway here within the hour, and we'll have a vote on the facility design for that new wastewater plant. Now, I spoke with the city earlier today, and they told me they have already obtained a permit from the Pollution Control Agency for this plant. So tonight's vote really just kicks off that process. Now, the reason for this new plant is because the state of Minnesota is now requiring for lower phosphorus levels in the river here in Albert Lea. Now, city officials thought the best way to do that was to just get rid of the facility that is there now and build a new one from the ground up. Now, that price tag is expected to be roughly $60 million. But the good news with that is that there may be some state funding coming from this year's bonding package. Senator Jean Dornick and other bonding committee members were out here in last November, and this was one of their first stops that they're going on across southern Minnesota for this bonding package. Now, Senator Dornick has also introduced a piece of legislation that would cover half the cost for this at $30 million. So as I said, this meeting is going to be starting up here fairly soon, so I'm going to get inside and get set up. Katie, back to you.
All right, thanks, Alec. KIMT will have a full wrap of tonight's meeting coming up at 10. Well, today is Valentine's Day. On this day of love and friendship, it's important to remember that love should never hurt. February is National Teen Dating Violence Awareness and Prevention Month. According to youth.gov, 1 in 10 teens will experience dating violence. We spoke to a violence prevention specialist with Olmsted County Victim Services who says it's important for adults to educate themselves, have conversations with youth, and make sure minors in their lives know they are a safe person to talk to if something bad is happening to them.
At the end of the day, it is our responsibility as adults to make sure that minors and youth in our lives are safe. So opening the doors for those conversations to be taking place regarding consent, regarding boundaries, regarding healthy relationships.
If you think your teen is being abused in their relationship, we have some local and national resources available to you on our website, KIMT.com. The city of Rochester is looking to make a busy intersection a little bit safer. The location of the intersection is at Viola Road and Cassidy Drive Northeast. City telling KIMT News 3 the plan is to add a roundabout to reduce the number of crashes. It would also shorten pedestrian crossing distances there. Hear from the project engineer and a neighbor living across from the intersection.
It's hard for people to get across there, even like kids going to high school or Century, trying to cross there. Cars don't slow down, they don't stop. There's, you know, the yellow pedestrian sign there, but they just go right through it.
We can make an intersection improvement and make it more walkable. That's a win-win. You know, Mayor Norton wants to make Rochester a walkable community, and so it's not just about moving vehicles safely through the intersection. We want to get pedestrians safely through the intersection.
Construction is expected to start in 2023. The city is hosting a virtual open house tomorrow. We're going to have a link attached to this article on KIMT.com where you can sign up. An investigation is underway after an armed robbery is reported at a Mexican restaurant in Byron. Olmsted County Sheriff's Office says a report was taken at the Compadres restaurant early Sunday morning. Authorities saying 3 workers at the restaurant were robbed by 2 unknown suspects. More than $1,200 was taken and 3 phones were stolen. The suspects did flee on foot. The investigation is still ongoing. Well, new at 6, Minnesota Senate Republicans introduced a Parents' Bill of Rights legislative package today. They say it would empower parents by giving them more access to curriculum at the children's schools. Now, the bills would require access to class syllabi for parents within the first 2 weeks of the start of classes and also provide all instruction materials without cost to parents who request them. Teachers are concerned the requirements would mandate more duties for an already exhausted workforce and to create an opening for future censorship in book bans to prevent teachings on topics like race and gender. Minnesota's rolling average COVID-19 positivity rate continuing to drop after peaking about 20% last month. It now sits at 12.5%. The Minnesota Department of Health is reporting over 4,000 new cases and 33 more fatalities. The number of people in ICU beds also continuing to fall as more than 60 staffed ICU beds are available across the state. 27 staffed pediatric ICU beds are available. The CDC says last week's 7-day rolling average of daily new cases decreased nearly 43%, but the Mayo Clinic COVID-19 experts caution that the number of new COVID-19 cases is still significant. Dr. Melanie Swift, a preventative medicine specialist at Mayo Clinic, says even though cases are falling, rates are still among the highest that we had during our Delta surge and really second only to Omicron's peak in the pandemic.
Vaccination has moved us to a very different place than we would have been without it. We still have had surges, we still have had record high hospitalizations, but without vaccination, this would have been so much more devastating. In the hospital, the majority of patients are unvaccinated.
Medical experts want to remind you that being vaccinated for COVID doesn't mean you're not going to get infected, but they say the chances of being hospitalized or dying are much lower. People's Energy Cooperative in Orinoco says it has seen an uptick in the number of utility customers getting calls from tricksters trying to steal their banking information. One member reported being told he had overpaid his bill. The cooperative was refunding his money. Other members report being told they would be refunded $50 and receive a discount on future bills. Now, in all cases, members were asked to provide their bank information over the phone. People's Energy Cooperative wanting to remind customers they will never request bank or payment information from members over the phone. A Blooming Prairie man is facing multiple felony charges following a tip from Minneapolis-St. Paul International Airport Police. Dylan Okori is facing 8 felony drug charges. Authorities were tipped off about a large amount of marijuana and 30 hallucinogenic mushroom candy bars set to be delivered to an Austin home. Law enforcement used an undercover officer posing as a delivery driver and dropped off those drugs. Surveillance began of 2 people getting into a car, and that was when the search warrant was executed. Okori is being held on a $100,000 bond. Still to come, 76 trombones led the big parade. It is a return to normalcy for folks eager to take in this year's North Iowa Band Festival. The announcement made today by organizers. And a group of North Iowa teens are spreading smiles this Valentine's Day. We were there as some people were serenaded.
KIMT News 3 at 6. Your local news with KIMT News 3's Katie Lang. Tracking storms with Storm Team 3 Chief Meteorologist Aaron White. This is KIMT News 3. More local news that is happening right now. We are coverage you can count on.